showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Silent and profiling. Woo, woo, it's live and in color. Woo!
Oh, this place is about to blow. He makes this.
Good snap. Good hole. Good kick.
Oh, yeah.
And the Bills slide into the postseason for the 4th straight year.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. What is going on, brother?
Happy Monday, brother.
Happy Monday, man. I had to play that. By the way, because, yeah, bro, I was feeling it yesterday, man, or Saturday night when we clinched a playoff spot yet again. What's up, Scotty, man? Glad you are always here. I appreciate you, man. By the way, Scotty, real quick update. Juan will not be joining AFC East Shakedown, so week 18. But Trevor, I believe, said he still will. Juan is a little upset because of the game on Sunday, which we all know what happened there. Probably the dumbest play I have ever
That is
witnessed.
the dumbest play I've ever seen in my life. And I've watched some bad Pop Warner football in my day. And that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
How are you running that drill when you're tied? What are you doing? It's like that play normally, like there's like 9 times out of 10, it don't matter anyways. When they run that play 9 times out of 10.
That wasn't even a play.
I know, but I'm saying 9 times out of 10 when you're doing that backward throwing shit, it usually hits the ground and fumbles or anyways. Like it doesn't normally work. But it's a tie. What are you doing? What are you doing anyways?
Everyone just assumed that play was called, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't called. I know that, Mike. No one said.
Because a lot of the talking heads said, why would Belichick call that? No, because Stevenson fumbled that ball, and it just happened to go right to the receiver. The ball.
I thought he threw it.
No, knocked up and out.
I didn't see that part. I thought he tossed it back.
No,
But either way, it doesn't matter. Even if he fumbled, it doesn't matter. The guy could just.
But what was the wide receiver doing?
That's what I mean. Jacoby Myers, right?
Yeah,
I think that's who it was.
But
I have no idea. Any. Not only did he throw it, he like tossed it like high in the air. Dude, like it was a terrible throw. I mean,
he also got crushed by Max Crosby as he threw it.
Oh my god!
And then Matt got stiff armed it to the dirt.
It was so bad, man. I do want to show something real quick.
Couldn't have happened to a better team. Couldn't have happened to a better team.
I know. That's Mikey's most hated team. Look at this. I want to show you something pretty cool I saw on Twitter today. I like it. Kudos to whoever's house this is.
Come on, come on. Come on and shout. Yeah. Buffalo's happening now. We're on the move now. The fields are happening now. They're making it happen now. You got the spirit. A lot of spirit, yeah. You got the spirit. Just watch it happen now.
Anyways, I thought that was pretty cool, man. Whoever did that, I don't know if you watch the show or not, but props to you, man. Like, man, I wish I thought of that.
That's awesome.
I would so do that, bro. But yeah, let's get on track to the game in hand that happened Saturday night. Even though we did our post game, we could talk a little bit more about it. So, Mikey, now that the dust has settled, the snowballs have been melted and cleared off the field. Oh, by the way, real quick. So when the ref came out and said, if anyone throws snowballs, we get a penalty. By the way, that is not a rule. They came out today and said that is not an official rule. So they were probably just trying to scare the fans into thinking we would get a 15-yard penalty if they continued. But there is no such rule that they can.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
So just throwing that out there. Bunch of phony baloney.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but Mike Robb was on One Bill Live today and talking about it, and they were throwing snowballs at the set, and Josh got mad at it, them told him to knock it off, and they stopped.
Yeah, I saw that. Fans get a little,
what do you think they're gonna do? They've been tailgating for hours.
Right, a little
we
liquor
jumped
in
through
you.
tables. You don't think we're gonna throw snowballs?
Right, you got stuff at your feet. Oh, Mike. Oh, by the way, Mikey's recovering well, guys. If you want to know.
Sorry, I meant to hit mute because I was gonna
you're
cough,
good.
and I hit stop camera.
You're good. So back to the game. Man, Mikey, I'm telling you, like I forgot who. Oh, Jordan Poyer mentioned the same thing I did when we were talking post game. How it was just like it was meant to be when that snow came.
Yeah.
And things kind of turned around. Like everything was like it was just so weird how it all happened, man. And it was a brilliant drive. But anyways, let's get to the game. I want to talk about a couple things real quick. So let's start with Mitch Morse going out with a concussion. I want to talk about that real quick. So Mitch Morse out with a concussion. You worried, Mikey? What's going on with Mitch Morse?
I absolutely am worried. I'm worried because you saw we were clicking on all cylinders in the first half. Mitch Morse goes out, and 100%. we struggled in the second half. And I think a lot of that had to do with Mitch Morse leaving. It changed. It kicked our third string, center in there, and then we put our backup tackle at guard.
Yeah.
I saw Ike Bucker was reinstated today, which will give us more depth along the lines because Bucker plays both guard and center, which is helpful.
Yep.
But I am very worried, not just from a football standpoint, but from a personality standpoint, from a human side.
Yeah.
This is like number 7 for him. He may not come back from this.
Yeah, listen, I've been, me, Mikey. I've been talking about Mitch Morse for probably a couple seasons now. How I think his career is going to end sooner than most people think, I guess. He's suffered from, I think it's his 6th concussion, not counting the ones he probably isn't listed, by the way. Just ends up.
These are the listed ones.
Right. They don't count every
not including the college and the high schools and
right. And the ones you didn't want to say anything about. What's up, Chewy? I appreciate you here, man. As always. Cheers. Yes, of course, cheers. But yeah, man, listen. Bill's got to start preparing for this because at this point, Mikey, for him, and like you were saying, in his health, the smart thing probably, and I hate to say it, is probably just finish the season, and call it a day. Because man, it's getting to the point where how many concussions you want to get, bro? And you got a family, you got kids, you got a wife. Clearly, there's something going on there where, and you know what they say, after one concussion, it's easier to get another. And now he's on a 6th. It's a grind, guys, and he plays a tough position, center. I mean, offensive line get banged around more than any position. Well, that and defensive line, but yeah, man, Brandon Beane has some major work to do with the offensive line, in my opinion. Saffold, by the way, total mess on Saturday night, and there is no way in hell I could see them re-signing him. Even though he came out and said he would like to, I can't see that happening unless it's for a minimum and he's a backup. Fine, right? Like a rotational guy, but not as a starter, Mikey.
Well, you bring him back and you let him battle in camp for it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine too. Or draft somebody, let him help battle with him. But
yeah,
I wouldn't mind that. It just depends on the money. You know what I'm saying? But either way, Bills have some problems there. They need to work on in the offseason. Nothing you could do now. I mean, I like that Ike Bacher is activated. I mean, it tells you a lot right there. Right? It tells you a lot. And
well, he was always coming back because his 21 days just ended.
But it tells you a lot of meaning how we're really.
Well, him coming back is coming back at the right time.
Perfect.
Because his 21 day ended today, so he had to be either released, put back on IR, or activated.
Yep. Yeah, go Bills, man. I don't know if I've ever seen you on the channel, but if you're new, I appreciate you hopping on, man.
Yeah,
we just got started, so
Yep. And then going back to Mitch, he came out and said after his last one that he talked with all the neuros and his CTs were clean. So if he truly feels and his doctors truly feel that he's fine to play, I'm never going to tell a man that he has to step away.
No,
that's more power to him. However, I would understand from a fan standpoint if he decided to retire because you know what? Football's a short part of your life. He has a long time with kids, wife, family.
Well, that's also something. That's something too. Brandon Beane would have to think about too, Mike. If you think about it, because keep having your starting center get concussions, right? Missing games. Like he's a key piece to the offense. He's the one hiking the ball to Josh Allen, right? You see how it is when a backup center comes in, who's not really a center, but he plays a different position. Sometimes it can get really shaky. Do we really want that to happen? That continuing to move forward. So, listen. Either way, Mikey. Regardless if he retires or not, or stays another season, the Bills have to start preparing. They have to start preparing.
But I think Ryan Bates' 4-year agreement was part of the preparing.
I would think so. We'll see, though. I have no idea. I'm not in there, but I think so. I'm on your side on that, or agree with you on that. I think that ultimately will happen, but who knows? You never know.
Who knows? They might either sign another center or draft one in this year. Keep the positive part about Bates is he can play multiple positions. Yeah. So could he be I think he could be a Pro Bowl center if that's where they ultimately leave him. Yeah, because he's so smart.
I'd have to see. I would really have to see him in like preseason just go at it at center, meaning just
he's played a couple games at center. Yeah,
no, I know that, but I need more games. I need timing. I need you are the center. Here it is against a starting. You know what I mean? Like another starting line. Like that's what I want to see. But I know what you mean. He came in a couple games, he's filled in well. But we'll see. We'll see when that time comes. But either way, we're at, and will Mitch Morse play this Saturday? You know how concussions work. We'll see. If not, I'm guessing the Bakker move. They'll start shuffling around. I'm guessing, right? They'll probably put Van Rotten back at center. I'm guessing and keep Bates at right guard.
Well, if Bates plays, Bates still nursing that ankle injury. So it might be Bakker.
Maybe Bakker. Yeah,
Bakker would probably go in at center, and Van Rotten would probably go to guard.
Musical chairs. By the way, Brandon Bryant was released, and that. I mean, it sucks for that guy, but it's good news for Jordan Phillips. Probably means he is getting his way back onto the field this week for practice, if I had to guess, which is really good for this team because I think we really missed him on Saturday night. I mean, we missed him in general, but that game, I really do think we missed him.
His intensity. He
Yeah.
brings that, because what we say after the game, we felt like they played soft, right? They got bullied.
Oh man,
Jordan Phillips doesn't bring that. It's not getting worse. It's actually getting better. And I don't know what saltwater's going to do that the antibiotics I'm taking isn't going to do. So
hey man, we're old school, bro. Saltwater and tea and
can and honey and Chewy's just like next
hot
one
wings.
Hot wings. There we go.
Yeah.
Get some hot wings and some blue cheese. I'll be good to go.
That's right.
But ultimately, when it comes down to it, I hopefully Bates can go. If he can't, I think we'll find out on. Is it tomorrow that they let their first one go because we play Saturday? Because it usually comes out on Wednesday. Does it get moved up a day?
I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I'm not sure because I don't. Saturday games are kind of rare.
Yeah, I think we still won't hear anything until Wednesday. But if you see Morris limited on Wednesday, there's a chance he'll clear. If he's a DNP on Wednesday,
100%.
Yeah, if he's a DNP on Wednesday, the chances are he's not going to clear.
Oh, look at this! Everyone's trying to help. I love the chat.
Gargle bourbon.
With bourbon. Yeah,
ooh, there we go. Take a shot of Crown.
Where's Dr. Oz?
Right.
All right. So, I do want to mention one thing too.
He's in a horse ride.
a guy that we finally got involved had a pretty cool his first backflip in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
The second touchdown pass of the day, and Hines backflipping. Oh, wow.
love it, man.
I love that. You know, I love that we got him finally involved. I wish we would have got him more involved because you saw him early and then he disappeared again.
Yeah. I mean, but listen, I still think it's one of who know. You know, I've been hearing a lot like Dorsey's going to really open that playbook when the playoffs start.
People keep saying that.
I mean, who knows, right? Who really knows? Obviously, we're not in the in the practice, and we're not in the room where they're talking about plays calling. But I'll tell you what, man, it wouldn't shock me if they're waiting on some plays for that's specifically designed for Hines. Because why would you show your cards now with someone like that is what I'm saying, right? You can only so many kind of certain plays with certain guys where it's like, okay, we know what they're going to do when this guy's in the, you know what I mean? So, but it's good to see that they did finally, that Allen trusted him, went to him, and it was a touchdown. So it was like a positive play. It wasn't like he dropped the ball or, you know, he got tackled right away for a loss or only minimal pickup. It was a touchdown. So it was really good to see. And it was good for him too, right? He wants his confidence in Buffalo. Now he knows Josh Allen has no problem throwing him the ball. And then another guy we saw real quick, Cole Beasley. He had one reception.
Yep.
But this is more of just kind of getting him in there slowly, I think, right? I think you're going to see more snap counts this weekend against the Bears because you want to start getting him. If you plan on using Cole Beasley in this offense going into the playoffs, you have to start getting him more snap counts as the games go on. So against the Bears, you want to get a little bit more. Against Cincy, by week 18 against the Patriots, we should have Cole Beasley
50-50 at least.
Exactly, Mikey. So, but it was good also just to see that him and Allen still have it.
No, I don't believe there's a divorce brewing between Diggs and Allen.
No, stop. Listen, all players get frustrated on sideline. The cameras love showing. They're not going to show you like Isaiah McKenzie, you know what I mean, getting frustrated on the side. Of course, they're going to show you the main guys, right? Allen, Diggs, right? Like the primetime guys, always. So I wouldn't look too far into it. This is how it is. It's a competitive sport. You want to win. You want to make plays. You know, and listen, man, and he's a top guy. If you felt it's just the way it is, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Listen, I played sports too. I get it. Like I was, you know, there's plays like, why didn't you pass me the ball? You know, like, so it happens.
Well, it's not only that. It wasn't just that. It was Diggs was working. Josh came off of him a little early and then would throw like a deep ball that would get broken up. And I think that ended up getting to him because when they're moving, if Diggs doesn't get the ball, he's fine. He's like, whatever. But if we're not moving and we're going 3 and outs and he's getting open, he's like, feed me the ball. We'll get us going. And Josh keeps going to other people who aren't making the plays. And I see that's – and let's be perfectly honest. He's a superstar wide receiver that the camera's always going to find.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, always. So no matter what he does – I mean, my God, listen, he was freaking had the he was flossing and they found him. I mean, they're going to find him. That's just what they do. It's good for the camera. So I want to look for – trust me, they're perfectly fine. He was sliding all over the snow when we won the game. He didn't look too upset to me. You know what I mean?
And he got the ball later in the game. We were struggling in the middle part of the game, and he felt that he was beating his guys, and Josh was coming off of him too soon.
Yeah. That's and all. He's never been, and he's not a me guy, so I don't want to go there either. I think he's just like Mikey said, a little frustration built up. You know, maybe he felt like we should have done a certain, you know, went to him instead of going a different route and not getting a first down. I mean, and that happens. And I'm sure Allen agrees too. When they go watch film, guys, which they do, they talk, you know, then they talk. You think Allen and Diggs are like, fuck you, man. I'm going home, man. Give me the goddamn ball. Like,
they love each other. They're brothers. And they say they're brothers. They fight. It happens.
Right. So yeah, man. So anyway,
Griggs, that's a great comment. Even if he would have thrown to Diggs, would have been called back anyways for holding.
I know.
Especially
by the way,
in that second half. Holy shit!
You see a lot of Dolphin fans crying about the refs. I mean, absolutely.
The Dolphins fans are always crying when they lose. Not everything.
There was a lot. I keep telling y'all this. It's no game's perfect in any sport when it comes to refereeing. This is the way it is. It sucks. I agree. You don't think the Bills got hosed so many times in that game that if I go back and really look, I'd be like, oh my God, that dude's holding Ed Oliver. That dude is
holding the wide receiver,
right?
Knock it down,
face guarding him. I mean, there's so many stupid plays. I could go back if I really want to nitpick and be like, oh my God. And I know it sucks.
What
I know there's big
saying?
calls that are missed. I just see it on. It was.
I'm like, I didn't notice any like so. Like,
the Allen late hit on Allen out of bounds was some people were
was out of bounds.
That they were saying that Hill was getting it should have been a call PI on, I think it was Tehran on one play. There was a couple comments. You got to go back on Twitter. I can't.
The Trey one where Trey had his arm around Hill's waist.
Yeah, there's Trey. I think Tehran. They were complaining about one of the calls. Who cares? Listen, at the end of the day, it's not a perfect. These guys are human too.
There was no so egregious ones like last night in that Giants Commanders game. The dude
was like, crazy. That
dude was like hugging him.
Yeah. Now and I'll take you back to another one. Last year when we played Tampa Bay.
Oh, when they yanked Diggs down.
Stephon Diggs he had his hand in his jerk. That's pass interference, but it is what it is. It is what it is. They missed it. But man, you know how fans are, man. But yeah, I agree.
And everyone sees it from their team's purview too. Like everyone feels that their team's getting hosed by the refs.
No doubt. By the way, did you think that was a catch on the McKenzie? I'm just curious because there's some people that think it was, some people not.
Not by the way the rules written. Do I think he caught it? Yes, but the way the rules were written, because the ball moved and hit the ground. And his hand slid off a little bit, so if his hand would have stayed where it was at, it would have been a catch. But because his hand moved and the ball moved, it was an incomplete pass. I understand why they called it. I think dude, you can't. That was like the Jordan Poyer one. The ball moves.
Yeah, you're right.
So like sometimes hitting the ground, the ball's gonna move a little bit. You know, it doesn't take away the catch.
Right, but by the
way it's written. By the way the rules are written, it's an incomplete pass.
Right. So if we go by that, it is. I agree with you. The McKenzie.
Like I think the rules written completely dumb.
Oh, by the way, real quick. Speaking of another game, the Patriots and Raiders. What do you think about that? You think that was a catch by the Raiders? That was so goddamn close.
I personally think he was out of bounds, but there was no zoom in where that could be definitive. So you have to go with the call on the field. Based off of the rules.
Chat, what do you think if you watch that? So Pat McAfee they had a really good picture. Like the sideline, some sideline guy took, or the NFL. Like a picture though, it wasn't a video. And they zoomed, bro. I mean, I don't know, Mike. He was really, really close.
Based off of that high.
I mean, paper thin. Oh, you are blurry, my friend.
I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with my camera.
Yeah, man, blurry Mikey. You know what it is? It's you're sick, and it understands.
Yeah, that doesn't like me.
You're a sick guy, man. I think you caused your camera to
catch what I am.
Catch something. Yeah. Oh man! Oh, there you are. You're better now. You're good.
I coughed and it came back.
Right. You both coughed, I guess. So listen, I mean, looking at the picture, I think he was in. Like, but it's paper thin, Mikey. But either way, it don't matter. Like, listen, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. The Patriots blew the game.
Yeah.
Don't matter. You had the chance to go to overtime. That wasn't the game, like, taking the lead and then that's it. Like, you had no other opportunity. Like, you had an opportunity. You had an opportunity to play him in overtime, right? And you blew it by some dumbass, I don't know what you were thinking play. So, anyways, Mike going hazy. Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, I opened up my camera settings and it like cleared it up.
Oh my God, Triggs, I know Mac Jones.
Oh man,
chat. It was Jones and Jones, man.
Jones on Jones crime. Jones on Jones crime.
I think Mac Jones was like, what the? I don't think he.
Dude, and then he took like. Have Zach Wilson watch Mac Jones' press conference on how to take responsibility for something that's not your fault.
Oh yeah, 100%. By the way, the Jets lost.
Yes, they did.
And I predicted the Lions would beat the Jets. Matter of fact, every AFC East team lost except for the Buffalo Bills. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Good weekend for the Bills.
Right,
and the Texans took the Chiefs to the brink.
Ooh, boy, did they ever. I was like, but, of course, it's the Texans, so they had to do some dumbass play at the end and fumble. Couldn't give us the game. But, hey, that just shows you guys, and is exactly what I've been telling y'all all season, that these games happen, man. Even the Patrick Mahomes that everybody kisses his ass, and all these teams, all these certain players like that everyone rides so high on, they all have bad games, right? Mm-hmm. They all squeak by. Like, people talk about us like, oh, you barely squeak by the Lions, you barely beat the Jets, and bro, they barely beat Houston. I don't hear nobody talk about that. Like, they got one win, like, but they're still top. The best things to slice bread. Like, come on, stop. It's the NFL. Shit happens. You have a bad game. They had a bad game. They almost lost.
Like, people think it's college. It doesn't go by, none of it goes by style points. A W is a W, whether you win by 1 or 100. A win's a win.
Yep. Oh, this is great talk because me and Mikey were actually talking about it. And I guess, you know what? Might as well. Since you brought it up, Scott, because I'm not done yet with this talk, but we're going to get on it. Fine. You know what? I'll skip it.
Okay, so there was a lot of talk about Allen getting back into the MVP, race this week. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go take a look at the 4 people who are in the talk. Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, and Burrow. Currently, Allen sits 3rd in passing yards behind Mahomes and Burrow, and he sits 2nd in total yards behind Mahomes. He's 2 behind Mahomes in total touchdowns, and he's tied with total touchdowns with Burrow. Burrow and Allen both have 4 game-winning drives. The big difference is QBR. With Burrow and Allen, Mahomes leads with QBR. I think what it's going to come down to is if Allen keeps playing like the way he did this last weekend and we win out, he has a legit shot at it, because then people are going to be able to say they beat all the playoff teams. That means he beat Mahomes head-to-head. He beat Burrow head-to-head. He beat Lamar. You go down to every team except the Chargers, who will probably get in because we didn't play them. Ultimately, I think Hurts is the front runner right now. They're 13-1. He only has 5 turnovers as of today. He has 13 rushing touchdowns, so he sits in the total touchdowns. But if the Bills win out and get the 1 seed at what would we be, 14-3, and we've beat every playoff team, and Allen puts up close to these guys' numbers, I could see the AP voting for him.
Yeah, I can, but
it's the story. It's all about the story.
I get it, but I think if Philly continues to win through the season, at least
it depends on what Hurts does over the last 3.
That's what I mean. The last 3 games, right?
Because he didn't have a great game yesterday.
He didn't, but I kind of think he's a story too. Philly. I don't think anybody had Philly losing 1 game up to this point. So listen, I could be a homer here and be like, Allen is the MVP, no doubt. Like, and I just feel like as of now, now, if I were to give my vote, and it sucks saying this, love Allen, I do, but I think Hurts is. I mean, you got to go by their record. You got to go how nobody saw it coming. Mm-hmm. You got to go by his stats, his completion percentage, his rushing touchdown. I mean, he's done a lot there. His stats are clean, man. Like, that is very good stats. That is
right now.
That's a top quarterback. Yeah.
Right now, I think it goes Hurts, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen.
Yeah.
Currently, today. Now, those 4 can all change based off of how the next 3 games go.
It's cold. By the way, freezing cold in Chicago for this weekend's game. 10 degrees, 25 miles. Yeah. I mean, I'm in Detroit. I'm in Detroit right now, and we are at 25 degrees. It is cold here, and it got
to a blistering 40 degrees in California today.
Whoa.
That's tank top weather for most.
Oh, man. But yeah, man. So yeah.
Trick. That's a great comp.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 2022 Eagles remind him a lot of the 2019 Ravens. That is a great comp.
You're right. Yeah, I can get on board with that. I can definitely get on board with that. Speaking of the Ravens lost as well, I believe, over the weekend. Let me go over some of the
See,
scores because
I
I don't
don't
want
even think true, and I don't even think Micah Parsons is going to be Defensive Player of the Year because
No, I don't
Bosa
think
from the
so either.
Niners
He's
is
been
having a monster year.
Yeah, he's been yeah, I agree with that. I thought Parsons played better last year, in my opinion. I still think he's a beast. I freaking love him on the team, but yeah, I'd have to look overall. But I think Bosa, yeah, for me,
I think Bosa's leading the league in sacks right now at 16.
Yeah, I have to look. But I do want to quick go over some scores before we continue on the Bills talk. So, Cleveland beat Baltimore 13-3. Baltimore, when no Lamar, obviously is a problem. Even with him, they have not been. They just have no weapons there, and man, that's bad. Obviously, we know Minnesota may have the greatest comeback ever. I'm not going to really talk about that because who cares about Minnesota? Detroit, like I said, edged out the Jets 20-17. Carolina lost to Pittsburgh, and Jacksonville with an upset beat Dallas, which we talked about. Man, Jacksonville, by the way, is in a playoff hunt. Kansas City barely beat Houston 30-24. Denver beat Arizona, which we already know. We know the Raiders won. The Chargers beat Tennessee. Tennessee's falling apart, guys. Falling apart. And Cincinnati made a good comeback on Tampa. They were getting their butts whipped at one point, and they just rolled them in the second half, Mikey. And obviously, you guys know the Giants beat Washington on Monday night. So, yeah, a lot of tell you what, this is crazy because Mikey, I did not see this happening in the beginning of the year. That I thought it was going to be like really tough for some AFC teams to make it in the playoffs. Like you had to win 10. There's some teams that could squeak in with like 9 wins. I mean, like seriously, like this is not even in the NFC. The Packers still, believe it or not, and the Rams could have technically a shot to get in the playoffs. So like it's really there's been a lot of teams that play bad this year. That's why I kept telling you guys I would just pump the brakes on the Buffalo Bills. I'm like, oh my God. Like look at all the other fan bases out there that are probably so upset right now at their team's performances that they're like 6 wins, 7, and they're hoping, praying to make it playoffs when they were supposed to get projected 9, 10, 11. I mean, like, and they got 6 wins. Colts. I mean, yeah, the Colts. I mean, the Denver Broncos, the Raiders were supposed to be better. I mean, I'm sure the Packers
Chargers.
Even the Packers were not supposed to be 5 wins at this point.
No, the Packers were supposed to be representing the NFC this year.
Right. You know, I mean, who thought the Lions would have an opportunity for the play? I mean, like, it's a lot going on in the NFL, man. I'm telling you guys this year. And I felt like, even though the Buffalo Bills had their little 2-game losing streak and we weren't playing the best football, ultimately, we're sitting here at 11-3, which is unbelievable considering everything that's happened. And if you look around the league, I'm not saying other teams haven't had injuries or stuff like that, but I feel like though the Buffalo Bills have had the most devastating, except for maybe San Francisco and their quarterbacks. But overall, I'm talking about prime time guys, not like I'm talking about all pros, Pro Bowlers, Von Miller, Micah Hyde. Even you can even throw Jordan Poyer in there because Jordan Poyer missed a shitload of games. I mean,
we've lost Tremaine, we've lost Milano, we've lost Oliver, we lost Vaughn, Groot. We've like almost everybody on our defense has missed at least 1 game.
Yeah, Josh Allen ain't playing 100%. He ain't gonna. I'm just throwing this out there. So I get there's a lot of injuries, but I don't know if I think Buffalo has had the most craziest amount of injuries and also missing 2 home games. Like. We've had a lot stacked against us, and for this team to be where it's at right now, and by the way, I don't know if you saw the video in the beginning, if you guys weren't here, or if you don't know by now, Bills clinched, we're not clinched, but we are going to the playoffs. We clinched a playoff spot. We clinched a playoff spot. Yep. We beat the Bears Saturday. We clinched the AFC East, and we can hold our belts back up because we are the champs again. That will make it 3 seasons in a row, which I don't see why we won't. That's awesome. 5 out of 6 years, Mikey. 4 straight playoff appearances. 5 out of 6 for under McDermott. I also got this cool little stat line here from McDermott, by the way. So Sean McDermott as our head coach for all the listen, and even me sometimes I get a little upset McDermott and Frazier and all this coaching staff, but ultimately here's their overall record: 60-35, 632 winning percentage, playoffs 5 out of 6. I just told you that. 4 straight 10+ win seasons, 3 straight 11+ win seasons, 2 AFC East titles, about to be 3. And made it postseason 4 straight times. Guys, do you remember the drought years?
Do I remember them? Yes. Am I starting to forget them? Yes. And I hope
That's right. That's right. So my point is, I think, for sometimes we're a little bit too tough on these guys, and we got to give them some love and support sometimes, because listen, not every game is going to be awesome and perfectly played. There's going to be mistakes made, right? Players make mistakes. So does coaches, right? Ken Dorsey's not perfect. He's a rookie OC. Yep. And I feel like, honestly, man, especially if I feel bad for Ken Dorsey, Mikey, more than most. Like, listen, Sean McDermott, not so much when fans are kind of like, because he's been here a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like, clock management shouldn't be an issue. You know what I mean? Or like, or bad when he challenges plays that clearly shouldn't be. Like, these are things like now we're like in season, like, dude, like, no more, you can't have that. You've been around long enough. But Ken Dorsey, like, guys, he's first year. Like, come on. Like we got to give him.
I don't feel bad for him.
Somewhat of a break.
I don't feel bad for him.
Who?
Dorsey. I don't feel bad at all for him.
I didn't say feel bad for him.
I said you feel kind of bad for him.
I said sometimes you got to give him a break. Sometimes.
Oh, is that what you? Yeah, you said you felt bad for him. So
yeah,
okay,
yeah. So I mean, you got to give him a break at times. So if I said bad, I'm sorry. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes he gets a little bit too criticized. When
I don't think it's criticized anymore. We criticize Daboll.
No. Well, Daboll. I criticized Daboll before when he's hired.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's what you do. And honestly, I don't think it's all Dorsey. It's execution as well. 100%. Dorsey's not dropping passes.
100. By the way, we lead the league in drops.
But
just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but I will say it is partly Dorsey's fault that we're not running the rock.
I agree with that too, but that's been an ongoing thing. And our offensive line isn't the best. Like, let's be real. Like okay, so like we have not been good at running the rock since Shady McCoy under Brian Daboll, who's when
we lost Richie and we lost Eric Wood.
Right. So you got to go back to the OCs and go, God, like that'd be like us, me and you, like hypothetically, guys, like, or I guess I'll just chat. You can think about it too, but me and Mike are hypothetically right now. So let's say me and Mike are the OCs. We're up in the box. We're calling a run play, stuff. Let's just say how things go. Right. Eventually we're probably going to start going a little pass heavy. We're like, fuck it. Like, we got to start passing the ball here. It's not working. Or we got to run Allen a little bit more because he can run a little better. For some reason, they block better when we call a design run for Allen. I don't know why they block better, but they do.
Because Allen put this foot in their butt.
Right. So, like, I understand at that point, too, where they're going, man, we just got to get Allen going. You get what I mean? Like, all right, the runs, it's just clear this offensive line is really bad. They're not blocking. They're not doing their job. We got to shift the focus. Now, I do agree, though. I will say with Daboll and Dorsey, and by the way, Dorsey was under Daboll, so he probably got a little bit tendencies under Daboll. I would say still, though, you got to still run the ball. You can't totally go away from it. And I kind of feel like Dorsey did that early in the season, but you got to give him some credit later on because he's kind of the last, I would say, month, he's kind of been moving the ball more, especially in the second half. That last drive is an example. He could have went pass heavy. Daboll would 100. I'm telling you, that last drive that we did against the Dolphins, if Daboll was here, it would have been pass. And he mixed in the runs. He mixed in James Cook, Devin Singletary. We killed the clock. When we needed to pass, he passed. We call it short, crisp passes. Nothing was crazy deep or unbelievable. Like, we just worked the ball down the field. I don't think Daboll would have done that, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I remember games like this where it was just like, okay, here we go. 5 out, five set. That's it. Let Allen throw,
okay.
Pass that.
I hear what you're saying. I'm with Triggs. I just want to see a little bit more creativity from
100%.
our team. That's all.
I agree with
That's
okay,
that's really that's my
that's not
big,
running.
That's
we
my
were talking about
yeah.
running,
I'm just talking about
but now you're
creativity in general.
Yeah, okay, so that's a whole different subject.
Yeah,
if we're talking creativity.
Yeah, it shouldn't be this difficult for guys to get open. Like, there's times during the game where it's difficult to gain a yard. Like, where's the creativity around that?
I agree
with
that.
You see it in
I agree with that.
San Francisco, LA, you know, Miami, you know, all these places. Like, where's our creativity at to scheme things up to look a little bit better? You know, granted, maybe it's just the scheme that we're running, and he is super creative, and he's just being held back for whatever reason it is. But I think that's where most of my criticism comes from of Daboll or of Dorsey. Like, he's a rookie OC. He's gonna learn as he goes.
Yeah,
Daboll year one was hot mess. You know, he was also given the keys to the Ferrari, and was like, okay, you have brand new 16-year-old driver, never done it before, and you give him a keys to the Ferrari, say don't wreck it.
But can I throw something at you though on that though about the Ferrari and the creativity? When Daboll was here though, he did have one of the best slots in the league at the time, who was making unbelievable plays, right, when needed, right? Stephon Diggs clearly was here. He had a veteran receiver in always, right? It seemed like either John Brown or Emmanuel Sanders. Just saying. He had Gabe Davis, who played, I'm going to be honest with you, much better last season. And this season, when we went in, yes, I thought the same thing as you as right now. I thought, man, we don't even need to draft a receiver. I was saying, why are we even drafting a receiver? We're stacked. We got Crowder. We got McKenzie playing good in the and none of that's happened. And you got to be real here. The only guy that's been consistent has been Stephon Diggs. And that hasn't been the case in the past. It's not Dorsey's fault that these guys are dropping the ball. Now, I agree with you on creativity. I'm just saying maybe he doesn't feel comfortable with these guys. I'm just saying, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Or maybe he's saving it for later in the season. I have no idea.
Julie's killing me. Who cares? We're just nitpicking. Having a conversation.
It's a topic. Because tonight
it's not just us here, but if you go out on Twitter, it's discussed at
every
and you have that battle going on Twitter right now. Tommy and I are just talking about it. Just, you know, I don't have a problem with him, but also Tommy, to counter your piece of that, if he realizes those guys aren't playing to their potential, it's his job as the OC to find a way to get those guys motivated and scheme to what their strengths are.
100%.
So that's all. But you know, 100%. I mean, we're nitpicking. We're 11-3. We have the
it's not nitpicking. 4. Not nitpicking though.
Yeah, we have the number 4 offense in the NFL.
Yeah, no, it's not nitpicking. I was just bringing up, you know, just because it's Twitter still going to be. Listen, it's going to. Yeah, it is. I'm on there, bro.
I'm on there too, but it's toxic.
It's going to be an ongoing issue until we win a Super Bowl. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be totally honest with you, because if we don't win a Super Bowl this year, I promise you guys, it's going to be, is Dorsey really the guy? Like, you're going to hear Frazier needs to go. Like, you're going to hear all this.
McDermott can't win. Get us over the top. Get rid of him. You're going to hear all that.
Right. But I don't think
we heard at the end of last year.
Right. We're going to win a Super Bowl. I'm just saying. But either way, I'm just throwing it out there. So moving forward, I do want to talk about something, Mikey.
Yeah.
I posted something on Twitter regarding Trey White. And I guess I'll play it here real quick for most people, because I don't know if not everybody has Twitter. And I kind of want your thoughts on this real quick. Let's see here. Actually, no, I don't have it. So that's okay. We won't have to play it. So Trey White post-game conference, Mikey, seemed a little down, right? And I edited, put it on Twitter, just saying, I don't know. Trey doesn't seem like he's back mentally and maybe even a little physically, which we know. The physical part, we know. The mental part, I mean, from what I, Now, I don't know. Maybe he's fine, but it just doesn't seem like the Trey White we all are used to as far as what he does on the field, like as far as his personality goes, how he talks to the media. He's just the upbeat Trey is not upbeat. He's more kind of just flat right now. They asked him about his, how his recovery is going. And he said, I'm not 100% back. Basically, I'm still doing rehab, but it's kind of tough to do rehab and play these games and have time to do both. So it's clearly, I think he's definitely not satisfied. He's not happy with his play. I think it's fine. I think he's been good, Mikey, in my opinion. I know he's not 100%, right? I get that. I know he can't probably do what he wants to do. And that's maybe what's leading to the frustrations, which I can understand.
Yep.
But what's your thoughts on Trey White?
I think we might be reading into it a little bit too much. Everyone I've seen, they've done after practice or after a game, and chances are the man's exhausted. Remember, he didn't play for a year, Yeah. So and he played every snap of that football game last week. So when he went to the podium, he may have been tired. That's why he was just
I thought the same, but when I posted it on Twitter, because I felt that, but I kind of wanted to see what other people felt. And it's gotten like 4,000 views, and it's a lot of people commenting, and most people agree with me as far as his body language. It's not so much that he's tired; it's more about how he's talking about the injury. Like I wasn't even talking about like really him being tired or whatever. Like it's more about how he responded to the question. I'm not, I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? Like I'm still trying to, I
you
can't really
saw it though in the game.
Yeah,
exactly. and that one-on-one with Tyreek Hill at the bottom, you saw him try to explode to catch up, and there was nothing there.
Nothing.
And there. Not that I think he could keep up with Tyreek, but he wouldn't have got burnt by like 5 yards.
He wouldn't have got burnt by a mile, right? Like that was the first thing I thought. Yeah. I'm like, wow, he is so behind. He like the old Trey would have at least caught up a little bit and try to make some kind of play. He would have had a chance
to get within 2 or 3 yards and jump for it to try to bat it down. But that burst wasn't there.
No,
and it won't be there until next year. It takes
100%
more than a year.
I totally agree. Anyone that has ACL like that, it takes a while. And Mike,
I'm with Scott on this one. Go one up.
This one
says we'll not get elite Trey back until next year. Let's face it, he's getting his share of burns, but he's still a leg up on Dane and Elam.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not shit. He's our top receiver, top corner right now.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. But I'm just going by mentally and physically. Yeah, mentally and physically. And Mikey and me talked about this earlier before we came on. He made a great point. Von Miller talked about this when he had suffered his first ACL. The mental part was tough for him. And then he kind of learned to kind of like cope with it, learn like to adjust and for the next one. And look,
it took him over a year. Took him over a year to figure that out. And that's why that's how he became so positive.
Exactly. So
he realized, put himself in a positive mindset, created that. So
yeah, that's where I'm going with this, Trig. Exactly what I'm saying. I think the mental side of it, I think
he'd never been injured before, ever.
Exactly. So that's why I think, like, first of all, it never been hurt, got an ACL, which is a major injury. And then I think maybe even it took a little bit longer than he expected it himself because he's an athlete. And athletes think, fuck, I can do this in 6 months, baby. I'm feeling good, like rehabbing. And you get out there and you go to do a certain move and it's like, I'm not back. And I think mentally when he's out there and he's trying to do something that he knows he can do in his head and he can't because his body won't let him, or
his body's not back to where it needs to be in order to do those things.
It has to drain him mentally because he's like, I'm better than this. You know what I mean? Like that's a human nature thing.
And not only that, but Trey is a tactician. He's all about his technique and the fundamentals.
Yes.
So to go in and then realize that you don't have the athleticism outside of that, it's going to take him some time to get used to until he gets that back.
Right. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, I hope I hope, like, to be honest with you, and he said it, I have a lot of good people around me, all that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope players that had this, like especially Von Miller, who's still around, would talk, like, and maybe they already did, but like players like that gone through it need to be in Trey's ear, I think. Not so much like the training staff. Like, they're cool, and I'm glad they're helped, obviously, but you need guys that have been there and done that, like, that's had that happen before, and hurdle that mental part. You know what I mean? And make them understand, like, this is how it goes. You're going to be all right. Just keep grinding. You'll get through it. You'll be back to you before you know it. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I just know that's not the Trey we're seeing out there. The fun loving, having a great time is definitely not
there yet.
So we'll know when it's there, because you'll see it. You'll see,
because you didn't really see him dancing in the snow like he normally does. And those type of things. But he'll get back there. He's still grinding to get back.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah. And
he felt very business. I don't think OBJ's playing anywhere this year. I really don't.
No. That me and Mikey talked about this. Like, we wanted him to come. And we were saying it, but that's if he was ready to go, right? He's not ready to go. What's the point? I mean, obviously nobody signed him. Obviously, he even said himself he's not ready. So he's not ready. So the story's over.
He didn't even say he's not ready. He said, I don't see the point of playing in the regular season.
Yeah. So, and I'll be honest with you, Mikey. I don't blame him. Get yourself right, because look at Trey. I mean, ACLs are a bitch, and he just had his later than Trey. So just get yourself right, OBJ, and whoever you sign with, good luck to you. Anyways,
Scott nails this one. Brown and Beasley were the smart moves. They'll both become 100%. More effective as each game passes. I agree 100%. And Beasley's the key. And has a whole lot less money because they both signed to the practice squad.
That's right. So
because
once that out there,
because here's the thing. They each can be called up 3 times during the regular season, but then once we get to the playoffs, they can be called up as many times as we want.
That's right.
So they don't have to be on the active roster.
I think Cole will be active before that. I'll be honest with you. John Brown, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. He'll
probably stay on practice squad.
Yeah, this is what it'll come down to with John Brown, in my opinion. If Crowder can play for the playoffs or not. If Crowder's a go, you won't see John Brown, in my opinion, in the playoffs. If he's not, it's very possible you see John Brown in the playoffs. Very possible. Just throwing that out there, and it may not be the first. It could be the next game we play. I'm just saying, like, you know how that works. So just throwing that out there. I think the Crowder thing's still looming. And by the way, I said it last week, and don't get your hopes up, but Micah Hyde.
Stop talking about it if you don't want me to get my hopes up.
Right.
You said your piece on it. Stop bringing it up if you don't want me to get my hopes up.
Dean said it. I didn't say it.
We don't talk about that until it happens.
I just want people to be like, Tommy, you were right. All right. So anyways,
I don't need to hear that because I will get my hopes up.
Yeah, I know. Mikey's sort of like getting his Micah Hyde jersey on.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, Beasley and Crowder in the slot. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh, dude, that'd be tough guard for any
3 game balls to go.
Yeah. Listen, guys, so here's the deal, man. We got one more game against Chicago. I mean, obviously we got 3 more games, but we got one more game to clinch the East.
Yep.
Mikey, this is it.
Yep.
It's a very winnable game, in my opinion. This is the game where
all 3 of them are winnable.
Yeah, they're all winnable. I'm just saying this should not be a problem for the Buffalo Bills.
We should win this game.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Fields.
Fields is he's a runner. He definitely has legs on.
I'm worried about Fields running with our tackling ability lately.
Yeah. Speaking of that, because we didn't really continue on the game, so we'll go backwards. We'll kind of rewind a little bit. The tackling, the bad run defense. I kind of was like thinking about it. And I forgot who I watched, but they made a great point. I was thinking the same thing. Was the way we played defense against them.
We invited them to run.
We brought our linebackers so far back. I think, honestly, and Frazier, man, I think Frazier said, you know what? We'll give him the run, but we ain't going to let them beat us on the pass.
They just expected us to tackle better. So they didn't have to break off those long ones.
100%. That's exact. And I don't think Frazier was going to change the style when the tackling was going bad.
He wasn't, because it goes back to when the Chiefs came to town. Remember, back in 2020. We said Patrick Mahomes not going to beat us. You're going to have to run on us to beat us, and they did. We invited them to run that way too.
Yeah, yep.
And it'll slow the game down. The difference was when we did it this way, our offense was clicking, and we were able to put up the points to get the win.
Right.
Like we weren't going to let them just blow us out the water. Granted, we did have a couple, breakdowns defensively in the secondary that allowed for big plays and touchdowns. But otherwise, the game plan was invite them to run, tackle them, let them run the clock out on themselves.
Exactly. It's just the tackling was poor, and I felt like guys like Boogie Bash, and we mentioned this, guys were standing around,
couldn't set the edge.
Yeah, they almost like they were flat-footed, or like they had like stones in their foot. They just were not moving. Poor tackling when they did. Tim Settle, a couple missed tackles there.
Had him around the waist.
Yeah, the only guy I would say that was consistent in that game tackling on the line was Daquan Jones. I thought Daquan Jones did a very good job.
A beast, man.
Yeah, he wrapped players up.
He's the underrated anchor of that defensive line.
100%. That's a great signing, by the way. He's a guy. He's not going to get like people aren't going to see what he does because of stat wise.
No one's going to talk about him.
Right. But if you watch the game, you watch the film, he does so much for this team. He's kind of like when Starr first got here. I'll be honest with you. When Starr, his first couple seasons, Starr was pretty damn good. He was very, like, a lot of people don't talk about that, but Starr really helped Ed Oliver that the season before he sat out because whatever. But in 2019, he really helped Ed out. Yeah. So I see it like that, like and starting to get a lot of.
Except
everyone's like, oh,
Daquan's better than Starr.
No, he is. But I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like that as far as the stat line goes. Like, sacks and
I don't disagree with that.
And it was the same thing when you go back and look at the film. Starr was getting doubled a lot, freeing up Ed Oliver. So I kind of feel it's the same way now with Ed Oliver, with Daquan Jones there, really helps him out a lot. Now, obviously, missing Von Miller, losing Von Miller, man, I'll tell you what, too, Mikey. In that game, compared to the first game, Von Miller's a hell of a run defender, right?
Yep.
He would have got out there and made some plays against the Dolphins Saturday night. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, he wasn't there. So he is sorely missed as far as that game. I will say another guy that did pretty well was Shaq Lawson. Thought Shaq Lawson played very well.
Shaq Lawson played great.
Yeah, and I thank God it's another signing.
He's the 2019 Shaq Lawson is what I'm seeing from Shaq this year.
And he loves it. He loves playing here, which is I love guys that just love being here. The
guys that fit his style.
Yeah. Guys that disappoint, by the way, that we need to start talking about. Cam Lewis needs to go. Not cut, but we need to put DeMarlo there. Like, what is going on there?
He can go to the practice squad.
Right. So I mean, he needs to go there. Right. Marlowe, you got time to listen. You traded for Marlowe. What for? If you're not going to even attempt to use him, Cam Lewis clearly making mistakes all season. Dane Jackson, I've seen enough. I keep saying this, but they're not going to change it. I thought
Levi Wallace. Kyrie Hilton played great, man.
I thought he played very physical. Listen. Even when he got beat, even when they caught the ball on him, I loved.
He was still like on him.
Still on him, still trying to affect the play by swatting the ball away. Like he was still playing very physical. There was one play, it was at the end, I believe. I think it was in the fourth quarter. Hill got the ball, I want to say.
Yeah, and he caught him 2 yards in the back.
And he was like jostling with the football. Yeah. Like trying to still get like
it was a bubble screen.
Love it.
That he split the defenders and got his hand on the ball. And Hill made the catch, but it's for a 2-yard loss.
Now imagine he doesn't make the play. He doesn't make the tackle. This is Tyreek Hill. Who knows where he goes from there?
You could go to the
Take
house.
it to the house. Right. So tackling is so important. I think Elam's tackling is very good, man. I think it's
gotten
underrated.
better. It's gotten really
a
lot better.
It really has. DeMar Hamlin is another guy. Now he's making mistakes.
He's missing some
tackles. He did. Ones. But he's also making some big tackles. I saw him. He came up on a run.
He's just not as consistent as Hyde.
He's just exactly no. We can't compare him to Hyde. He's a second-year player.
Well, that's who you automatically compare him to because that's who
you have to. Yeah, you have to. But I still feel like if we didn't have Hamlin there, we'd be in a lot more trouble. How about that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Hamlin's done a very.
I think Hamlin's done a great job. He just a couple of the really big plays are because Hamlin's missed the tackle.
Sure, and that is signs of a guy that's still learning the position or still learning the NFL position. I know he's a safety coming out, but it's a different sport, man.
Well, not only that, but it's the first time he's actually playing. Because last year he was on the roster, but he didn't play any defensive snaps.
No, nothing.
We had 2 All-Pros.
Preseason. That's it.
Yeah,
preseason. I think he came in a few times for some snap counts, but nothing. I don't think he played any started any games, not that I'm aware of. But I still think he is a guy that stepped up. I guess while we're on this topic, who are your guys that you like, Mikey, that has stepped up to the plate this season? Meaning they, even if they're starters, just guys that just
Shaq
stepped up. Shaq. Okay.
Daquan on the defensive line.
100%. Okay.
Loved seeing Hamlin. He stepped up. And then Kyer has gotten better and better every week. I think those are the guys who have really stepped up on the defense. On the offensive side,
see, this is a toughie.
Josh,
right?
Singletary,
Singletary.
Morris,
Quentin
Morris. He stepped up and made some few solid plays that we weren't expecting anything from.
Sure. Okay.
That's about it on the offensive side because Gabe's been inconsistent.
I'll throw mine out there because it's a little late. So offense, definitely Josh Allen is considering everything that's gone through with the elbow and everything like that, and the shitty online. By the way, I'll say it's not good. Devin Singletary for sure because he's always a team player and he does everything the team asks him. And I'm gonna throw a guy out there that I wasn't high on early, but I think he's been playing very good lately. James Cook. I gotta show James Cook a little love there because I thought
that's who Chewy just called up.
Yeah, I think they're mixing him in more into the offense, and he hasn't fumbled since his first game that I'm aware of. And he's starting to get on the same page as Josh Allen, and it shows on that touchdown when Josh Allen was scrambling that he was on the same page. And that's rare for a rookie and Josh Allen to trust James Cook to make that, because that is a backyard football play. That is not a call play. James Cook had to know, okay,
scramble.
Here it is. You know what I mean? And Josh had to go, I got to go to him. I'm going to try. He's the guy that's going to,
he opened up in his, in his vision.
Yeah.
They always say, make your numbers seen by the quarterback. And he made himself, clean for the quarterback to see. Chewy's.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Finish up.
No. And then on who else on offense? I would say Diggs too. I think Diggs.
I think Diggs is just.
Diggs has been solid.
Like Allen.
Defensively, I want to say Phillips, but Phillips has missed so many damn games. It's tough, but I'm still gonna go.
Can't say stepped up, and then also he disappeared a couple games when he first came back.
Yeah, exactly.
Early season, yes, I'd say stepped up.
I think since the hamstring, he's not
been the same.
Totally, exactly. Now he's not bad. I'm just saying he hasn't. He still seems like he's battling something.
He hasn't been wrecking shop like he did early.
So I'm gonna say Shaq Lawson. I'm gonna say Jordan Poyer. Because Jordan Poyer
playing through that elbow.
We're undefeated with Jordan Poyer in the game. It tells you a lot. I'm gonna say DeMar Hamlin because that's not an easy role to fill. And he came in right away and he's done fine. And I think that's it as far as defense goes.
Someone I didn't think of.
Oh, and Daquan Jones too. Jones.
Someone
and Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver too. He's having a great year. And Gregory Rousseau. God damn, I'm missing a whole bunch of guys. Sorry,
but Greg missed some games too. Someone for guys that I wasn't expecting, Benford. Until he got hurt. He was having a really good season until he got hurt.
I was gonna say that Benford. Too. I was gonna give that a split and say Benford and Elam had a pretty now Elam he's a first round pick. We were thinking he's
learning
exactly
he's a press man corner. He's learning
it's a totally different
concept.
Exactly. But Benford was a shock. I think that
you know what? If we're gonna say who stepped up, Teron Johnson.
Yeah, I love Teron.
Underrated. He's played every game, hasn't been hurt.
He had a good game.
And he's been solid.
Yeah. He had a good game against Miami too. Made a couple. He got beaten a couple times, but overall he did good tackling.
He's been solid all year. He's been solid all year. He's been the one. Person you can count on being back there every week because even Poyer's missed time. It's been Tron. Tron's been out there every week.
And then I'll throw one more out there, Tyler Bass for special teams.
Oh God, I'd say our whole special teams unit, really. All three guys. Ferguson.
Oh, you're right.
Martin,
the punter too. The punter
Ferguson,
who we were forced
to
right. We had to sign last minute because our old punter,
Yeah.
And
the three specialists have been solid all year long.
Right. What's up, Cali Bliss?
Chewy wants us to go through 2 early 3 keys to the game.
Oh, sure.
Or early.
Go ahead,
so
upcoming, Mikey's good at these. I like to agree. Go ahead, Mike.
My early, before I get to really dig in, is tackling, because we're gonna,
yes, especially against this running quarterback, and that's what he does.
Yep, tackling is gonna be one. Shutting down the run, because they don't have a great passing game. They're a running team. We need to shut down the run, and then red zone offense.
Yeah.
The last few weeks we've been changing our fortunes in the red zone. That's why we've been winning. Last week we went 4 for 5, and the only reason we had the one that we missed is because we chose to miss it and just kick the field goal.
Exactly.
Really, we were 4 for 4 with an asterisk on the fifth one, which because Singletary could have scored and he gave himself up.
Right. Now I know Fields went out of that game Sunday, but he came back.
Mm-hmm. He's nursing a shoulder. He has been for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Now. But guess who their backup is? Who came in?
Peterman. Trevor Siemian too.
Hey, would that be so funny, dude, if Peterman winds up coming in the game?
Peterman's the third, Siemian's the second.
Oh my! But he came in though. He came in. He played when he went out. When he went out.
So Siemian's not
Sunday.
back yet?
I guess not, because when he went out, Peterman came in on a 3rd down and almost threw an interception right away. I'm like, yo,
Peterman makes me choke.
Oh man, Peterman, man. But yeah, no, Peterman gave it. So that would be funny, dude. But yes, I agree with you.
Either Edmonds or Milano. One of those two need to be spying him the whole time. We need to do that 100%. three-man rush with the 1-man spy.
Yep.
Or do that.
Now, this is a different kind of game than the Miami game, by the way.
Yeah.
Now we need
they're all running. Yeah, they're all running.
Right.
We just went from a high-powered passing offense to a running offense.
Yeah.
But this game that we should take the same type of one that we had for the Patriots. Same type of game plan for the Patriots.
Yep. And Mikey's 100% right. Tackling is going to be very important in this game. It's going to be cold, very cold, obviously. You know how that is, man. It hurts to tackle. I get it. But you got to wrap it. Guys are going to be a little bit slippery too.
Get that mindset. Get that nasty mindset going.
You have to. And listen, Fields is not going to beat with his arm. He's just not. It's not that. I'm telling you, he's not. I'm not saying you can't totally disabandon the pass, but you got to cover him running. You have to play a spy. You got to play physical. You got to rush. I would like to see Milano and Edmonds come in a little bit, pressure him. Make him force the ball away, whatever. But you can't let this game, you can't let him beat you with his feet. You got to attack him. You got to attack him, bring him down, and make you try to beat him with his arm. And it's not, I don't think it's going to happen. They don't have the weapons, and I don't think he's that kind of quarterback. He is just a mobile, bigger quarterback. He just, I don't fear Fields. So
I don't. Not only that, I don't fear the receiving threats. It's Nikhil Harry,
doesn't even have weapons.
Commit, and they are a ground and pound play defense team.
That's what they are. So, and as far as offense, Mikey's right. Red zone is very important. It's going to be a cold game. I think same motto as I've been saying the last 4 weeks. When you're in the red zone, listen, don't do anything stupid. Take your points. I don't even care if their field goes at this point.
Every drive with a kick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Don't force, a 3rd down pass because you want the touchdown so bad. Take the points, especially this team. Listen, Chicago's not going to score a lot, right? we score a couple field goals, couple touchdowns, we win the game, in my opinion, right? I mean, it's simple as that. I don't think Chicago's going to score over, I would say 13 if I had to guess right now, 14 the most. Like, I just don't even see that. I don't think they just.
I was thinking 17. And the reason why I say 17 is our defense always gives up one freebie at some point.
We always give up a touchdown early too. I don't know why. It's like in our it's in our. It's like,
Night, Chewy. Thanks for riding with us, buddy.
Hey, be good. And matter of fact, Chewy's going. I have nothing else, Mikey, unless you got something else.
No, I don't. I'm excited. We clinched a playoff spot, so we punched our ticket. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't win the big one if you don't get into the dance.
No. 100%. You got it. Yep. You're.
We still have things to play for. The East is next, which we can clinch this week.
That's right.
And then we have 2 more games left. We win them both. We get the 1 seed. We control our own destiny to the 1 seed.
100%, Mikey. Listen, man. I rock my Bills gear today. I told everybody you should feel proud. Matter of fact, I just rock it all week. I rock it all week.
I rock it year round.
I do too, but I'm saying for everybody else out there, if you don't wear it proudly, because we're back in the playoffs again.
Yes, Dan. Absolutely, buddy.
Oh, Dan.
The AFC East this week. Put on those hat and shirts.
Can't wait.
But man. That's just one step to where we're our ultimate goal. So
that's just one step. That's right. And then listen, the one thing we've been preaching is home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Yep.
That is the next goal, right? That is the next step. So we handle our business in Chicago, and then we handle our business in Cincinnati, and we come home and we finish it out against the Patriots, and we win the AFC, and it runs through Buffalo. Yep. And this is what we've been missing since McDermott's been here as a coach. Playoffs are great, but I think even McDermott knows and what his goal is, because I think. Listen, if there
the Mafia makes a difference.
Yeah, if there was a chalkboard up and he had goals that were checking, which I'm sure he somehow does, we've checked all of them almost. And I think the next one is win the AFC, and then the Super Bowl, right? Like these are the goals, right? And we've already done the East. Listen.
Oh, you're talking about his dream board?
I'm talking about the dream board. Yeah, like with the team, since he's gotten here, the first year was just trying to get in the playoffs, right? Wild card. Which we did. And then the next was, okay, let's get that East, right? And we finally did, right? And now we're controlling this.
We got the AFC Championship. We checked that one off. Yeah. Next one is the 1 seed.
Right.
Then winning the AFC Championship, and then the whole enchilada.
That's right. So listen, man, we're on the right path, guys. This has been a rocky, weird season, but it's been awesome. We're 11-3. And I'm super happy, man. So anyways, guys, we will be back. Let me tell you real quick the schedule on this week. Tomorrow is Nuclear Heat Wave Wrestling Podcast for all you wrestling nerds out there. That starts at 8:30 tomorrow. Wednesday is Rally Towel Sports at 8:30. They talk about everything. And by the way, they're Bengals and Pittsburgh fans, so you might be interested to hear what some Bengal fans want to talk about.
I'm very interested to hear what they have to say.
Yep, and Browns too. One of them is a Browns fan, which, by the way, Browns still have an opportunity. They're still technically there. So, and they won. So they're still in the hunt. That's Wednesday at 8:30. And then Friday Night Lights is at 8, and we will be previewing the Chicago game. And then Saturday, obviously, you guys know, is Fantasy Kingdom. By the way, I'm out.
I lost my big money league.
Oh, sorry, Mikey. Yeah,
I'm still in the other two, and still in ours. But
I'm out. I knew it. But I'm glad I got there. I guess I'll be back. 3 in a row. I've done. That's it. Oh well. Anyways, and then AFC Shakedown at 6, guys. So have a great night. We appreciate you guys for stopping by once again. We love you, Mafia. Bills Mafia #1. Go Bills. And I will play the best outro.
In the business.
In the biz, baby. Peace out, guys. Go Bills. The Bills make me want to shout. Go Bills, guys. Peace out.